Aam Aadmi Party, what a belligerent victory, I must say. I'm super happy, ballistic in extravagant terms. I think Punjab is the answer for the Lok Sabha elections to come. So AK is the go-to man, I would say.
I think the age-old cliches which most of these journalists talk about, Dalit Muslim combination, the Yadav Muslim combination. I think the caste factors, the age-old caste factors have been decimated by our impeccable deliverance mechanism. So even within Muslim households, even within Yadav households, even within Dalit households, I think today people are making independent choices. So I would not be surprised if Muslim women have voted more, with their Hindu counterparts and, endorsed the successful social welfare programs of the Modi government.
Namaste, you're watching Citti Media. I'm your host, Sharan Setty. As the results of the elections held in 5 different states of India have been announced today, we at Citti Media put together a small effort by compiling different video bites and interviews that we have done throughout the day, seeking responses from the representatives of Aam Aadmi Party, BJP, and others. On this particular video, we have made a compilation of all their responses, their promises, the reactions to the victories, their losses as well. And we are just going to give you a glimpse of all the conversations that we had today. Do tune in. Tuhin ji, welcome to the show. All smiles today. Congratulations on your fantastic victory.
Thank you so much, Sharan. I think it was expected. It is a pro-incumbency vote, something which the usual cynics and Andolanjivis have been very dismissive about. But yes, pro-incumbency vote today in India is a reality, and we have made it happen. Apart from Uttar Pradesh, where obviously we were expecting these results, what is particularly heartening is the performance in Goa and Uttarakhand. I think it would be a record of sorts for any party to form a government in Goa for the 3rd consecutive time. These smaller states are used to throwing, are used to voting for alternative governments. But again, in Uttarakhand, where most people were predicting a very close election, in fact, 2 days ago when the exit polls were out, and some of the more credible ones were predicting a 47% vote share, I knew that the BJP would be very close to 50 out of 70 seats, which is how it has panned out. So I think pro-incumbency votes, whether it is Manipur, whether it is Goa, whether it is Uttar Pradesh or Uttarakhand, is a reality. This is a huge endorsement of the way we have handled the economy during the COVID crisis in the last 2 years, of how we have shielded the poor during this crisis, because the deliverance mechanism today is absolutely flawless. It is impeccable. Food is reaching the homes of people. And this would bring me to another phenomena which needs to be studied in greater detail. I think the age-old cliches which most of these journalists talk about, Dalit Muslim combination, the Yadav Muslim combination. I think the caste factors, the age-old caste factors have been decimated by our impeccable deliverance mechanism. So even within Muslim households, even within Yadav households, even within Dalit households, I think today people are making independent choices. So I would not be surprised if Muslim women have voted more, with their Hindu counterparts and, endorsed the successful social welfare programs of the Modi government. And Yogi ji obviously has performed brilliantly. The infrastructure push in Uttar Pradesh has been unprecedented in the last 5 years. So I think the victory was expected, except for the usual cynics who had their doubts. But the margin of victory and the comfort in the 3 other states, Uttarakhand, Goa, and Manipur, I think that is where the story really lies. BJP is the national party of governance from here for the next 20 years.
What are the reasons you would attribute to for the BJP's victory, especially in states like Goa and Uttarakhand, especially since you already acknowledged that some of these states have a very anti-incumbency factor weighed in during the elections. So what did work out? And one of the things that the Congress is already saying is that it's only because of Modi's image, perhaps the BJP managed to pull through. Otherwise, winners can write history in their own terms. So the attribution can be given to anything really.
Well, the problem with the Congress party is that it stopped looking at the mirror many years ago. So if you ask me, if the Gandhi siblings had not meddled with their own leadership in Punjab, at least Punjab would have been one state which they might have retained. But I think there is an overall credibility crisis. And I think till the time Rahul Gandhi takes a call and quits politics, I'm sorry, I might sound very harsh today, but ideally he should have done that after the 2019 elections. There are careers which are being destroyed because of him. There are so many Congress leaders who want to join the BJP. There are so many Congress leaders who are joining Aam Aadmi Party. So I think it is about time Rahul Gandhi should quit politics. And look, the problem with this guy today is that just to retain his constituency in Wayanad, his politics is tweaked significantly, which is against the politics of other parts of the country. So today he caters to a rather radicalized Muslim audience. Today he tweets a Saraswati Puja greeting with the hijab issue. So I think it is about time Rahul Gandhi quits. Insofar as we are concerned, see the 24/7 work culture which Modi ji has brought across and which all our chief ministers have diligently followed, I think has been appreciated by the people. Like I mentioned right at the very start, the deliverance mechanism, the social welfare the social welfare schemes, the benefits of them transparently reaching out to the poorest of the poor, the infrastructure push. I think all of these factors have been very influential. In fact, in the last 3 phases of the UP polls, I think women voters exceeded male voters by a good 10%. That is where the story really lies. Women who are, running households realize that it is the BJP which can keep the household safe during a crisis. They realize that it is the BJP which means well for their families. And so I think the dual factors of BJP emerging as a natural party of governance, as a conclusive natural party of governance, and the Congress emerging as an absolutely irresponsible escapist party, these dual factors have been have been instrumental in the results which have come out today.
A very good evening, Dr. Abbas. Thank you so much for joining us. All smiles today.
Absolutely. Why shouldn't it be? Aam Aadmi Party, what a belligerent victory, I must say. I'm super happy, ballistic in extravagant terms. I think Punjab is the answer for the Lok Sabha elections to come. So AK is the go-to man, I would say.
So are you confident that your party is going to replace the Congress party as a principal opposition party? Because this victory suddenly seems to have invigorated that sort of an optimism in your party workers.
Absolutely, Sharan. There are no two ways about it. My colleague Raghav Chadda made a brilliant statement, which I also did. Over the last 1 month in several national media channels, I have been very vociferous of the fact that Aam Aadmi Party will indeed be the principal opposition. Also, as a matter of fact, I recall the words of Yogendra Yadav, who once said that Congress must die for other principal opposition parties to come into the fray. So it's been fantastic. Undoubtedly, Arvind Kejriwal, I would also prophesize on your show today, my friend Sharan, that he is the next Prime Minister to look out for, if not in the next 2 years, but definitely in the 7 years, the 2029 to look forward to. And also, there's nothing called overnight success. It's the baby steps which the Aam Aadmi Party since 2013-14 has been taking. This is the second state that will be forming government in, and many more states to go. Gujarat is coming up, and so is Himachal Pradesh. So yeah, victory all the way.
So would you actually say that this is the final nail in the coffin for Congress, although we've been saying this for a very long time?
The way I see it, in fact, I want to put this on record over here. I'm probably one of the very few people who had stuck my neck out from December 3rd, when during a Republic appearance, I had made this claim that if Congress wins more than 5 seats in Uttar Pradesh, I would quit politics. And today, as I can see it, it's not winning more than 3 seats. So yes, it is about time. See, the Congress decline is irreversible because it is not in sync. It is not in touch with what's happening around. They are hypocrites of the worst order. So while they might give the campaign "Ladki Hu, Lad Sakti Hu," during the elections, did they even tweet about Lavanya? Did they even, these siblings believe in disaster tourism. So ideally, they should have gone to Lavanya's house and consoled her family members. Their entire thing is so hypocritical. In Uttar Pradesh, just because they didn't have any candidates, they gave 40% of the seats of the tickets to women. Why couldn't they do that in Goa, where they had some chance of winning? Why couldn't they do that in Uttarakhand or Punjab, where they were strong? So the hypocrisy of the Congress party is so well known. It is so, like in your face today, that I don't see a future. So the way I see things turning out, 2024, I think, the results today are going to have a big impact in 2024, and the space which is being left void by the exit of Congress party is going to have 3 or 4 different players vying for that space. So Aam Aadmi Party, with the victory in Punjab, is obviously will be trying to occupy that space. In the east and the northeast, the TMC will be trying to occupy the Congress space. So at the end of it, the entire opposition would be so scattered and so divided in 2024 that we would probably end up getting 350 plus seats. That's my prediction. You can mark the date, you can save the video, but I'm predicting a much higher victory margin for the BJP in 2024 than what we got in 2019. Because while we may have lost some ground in Bengal, there are states like Tamil Nadu and Telangana which are going to surprise you with the BJP results in 2024. In Telangana, we had won 3 Lok Sabha seats in 2019 out of the blue. I can tell you we are going to get at least 8 to 10 in Telangana, and you shouldn't be surprised if we get half a dozen seats in Tamil Nadu. Because I have interacted with Mr. K. Annamalai, and the sheer precision with which he is building up the party. Maybe to come to power in state might still require a long time, but Lok Sabha elections would be fought on national issues, and that is where the BJP could surprise you with a good half a dozen seats in Tamil Nadu.
In fact, south of the Vindhyas has been somewhat of a difficult task for the BJP, barring a few states, of course, Maharashtra.
That's changing now. I'm sitting in Mumbai right now. I can tell you that if BJP were to fight the Lok Sabha elections in Maharashtra alone, we would sweep the state. 30 plus seats is what I'm predicting right now.
What would you attribute the success of today's victory in Punjab to? What are the reasons, and what did your party get right in Punjab?
Absolutely. There's been, truly elections are won on ground. Over the last several years, especially in the last 5 years, the people of Punjab have lost their faith in Congress, so in Akali Dal. So the Aam Aadmi Party, I truly believe that elections are won on ground. Also, as a matter of fact, we need to understand that there's been an undercurrent of the party in Punjab. The people of Punjab have lost faith in Akali Dal, and BJP has been irrelevant, and they've lost faith in the fighting of the Congress party. So therefore, it was a clear victory. People are looking forward to Delhi's form of governance, Kejriwalji's form of governance coming into Punjab. So I think it's fantastic. I think I have always said that it's not just Dil Walon Ki Delhi, but it's also Dimag Walon Ki Delhi, which has transformed in its neighboring state of Punjab as well. So hearty congratulations to the mandate of Punjab and its victory all the way. And most importantly, it's not just happy go. It is time to work on ground and bring the promises come true to the people of Punjab.
With the emergence of the Aam Aadmi Party as an alternative, do you think politics, especially the opposition politics, is taking a different turn, and perhaps they represent a certain different set of values and principles? How does the BJP see and welcome this sort of a change in Indian politics?
See, like I said, Aam Aadmi Party might have won one state, but it's still going to take a long time for them to even partially fill up the space of the Congress party, what Congress used to be pre-2014. So the Congress space is going to be occupied by a lot of small parties. In the Bengal and the Northeast, I think TMC is going to completely dominate that void left by the Congress party. Obviously in North India, maybe Aam Aadmi Party might be able to make some inroads, but I think it's going to take at least 5 years from now, thanks to the damage done by the Congress to the entire opposition. I think it's going to take them 5 years to get a united, credible opposition. And that 5 years is a time when India would surge ahead, because there would be no, attempts by the opposition to hold India back. You will see, I'm sure with this victory, you will see an even more assertive, leadership at the national level, where a lot of ideological issues would be expedited once again. And, and I'm sure, I think people know what I mean.
What would your top priorities for Punjab be, especially because Punjab happens to be a border state, and we've seen how the issue of extremism, issue of drugs has been haunting Punjab for a very long time. So what will Aam Aadmi Party offer anything differently that the other parties couldn't have already done?
I think from day one, Arvind Kejriwalji, Bhagwant Mann Saab have always said that put an end to this drug menace. It should not be an Urta Punjab, but an Utta Punjab. It is time to make vikas or progress in the real sense. Arvind Kejriwalji also addressed the people that education is definitely going to be a priority. Also have members from farmers, Udyogpati, which is the businessmen, the youth, everybody coming together, being a part of this Congress party. And this governance is not just for the people who voted for Aam Aadmi Party. This governance is also for those people who, every single member, every single Punjabi, like we say, Punjabiyat. I think this is going to be an inclusive government, which will be certainly on the developing lines of Delhi, where we focus on education, better hospitals, better roads, electricity, and so on and so forth. So I think Punjab, I think the sun has risen in the right direction today. Punjab is looking forward, P for positivity and P for Punjab, and that is the way to go. The power in the people and the right people. As a matter of fact, I'd be very happy to share with you, Sharan, on your fantastic show, that do you know that Charanjit Singh Channi, the former Chief Minister of Punjab, lost election to a very common man. He's just a mobile shop repair. This boy, he works there. His mother is a school worker in a government school. His father is a farmer. This is the might of the mandate of the people, that anybody and everybody at the Aam Aadmi Party can win. Amarinder Singh lost, Captain Amarinder Singh. Navjot Singh Sidhu lost, Charanjit Singh Channi lost, Prakash Singh Badal lost. This shows the power of the Aam Aadmi, and not just the Aam Aadmi Party, but the common man on the ground, that nobody is bigger than the mandate. And people today will vote for work, not just jumlebazi of the Bharatiya Janata Party, but the right and might and the work of the Aam Aadmi Party.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.